Stop coughing. So, interrupt this coughing to bring a very important video about babies and stuff.
And stuff. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Upside. I'm not Francia, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Francis.
And this is
Ignore this imposter here.
I'm Jackie, and this is my husband Francois. And we are sitting in our bed with very formal clothes, so it feels very funny. And also excuse the wobbling because the camera is on a little bar chair on the bed. So when we move and laugh, you're going to feel it. So in our previous video, I spoke about our fertility journey and certain things that have happened. And we thought we would just give an intro to what has been happening the last couple of months. So as you know, this year we had a theme for every month. Do you still remember that? So we had, yes, we had our videos. April is the month, June is the month, July is the month, remember?
I think it's safe to say neither of those months were the months, unfortunately.
Yeah, so our approach was to make a video every month and to be positive that it's going to work that month. So that is how we approached our fertility journey this year. So recently, well, actually at the start of this year, I started to really struggle to cope with many things that's going on. Obviously, wanting to have children and it not working was obviously one of them. At first I had the idea to maybe start seeing a life coach or someone to just, you know, help me through these things. But I just wanted to get to a place where I knew what I wanted to say and what it actually was that I needed help with, if that makes sense. Eventually I decided to go see a psychologist, which was an excellent decision. So far it's been going really great, and I always look forward to go back. Obviously, among many other things, we started talking about our whole infertility issue. Are you still here?
Yeah.
You look like a zombie.
Oh, yeah.
You're like Amish. This is serious stuff.
I know. It's like more serious.
No.
Less.
More awake. Okay. Anyway, so it's actually very serious. Yeah, so I started to see a psychologist, and
There's no laughing matter.
no laughing matter. Although sometimes I think you should always be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
We started talking about the whole fertility issue and all of that, and the history of France's cancer, etc, etc. So recently, actually in our last session, he asked me, between Francia and myself, which one of us actually drives the whole baby thing the most. Now obviously from the outside everyone would probably say, well, Jackie. We all know Francia also wants children, we want children, blah blah blah, all of that. But on the surface it seems like I'm the one, you know, who really wants a baby. I make most of the YouTube videos and I buy the baby clothes and
the magazines.
And the magazines, and I read the articles, and I'm on the Facebook groups and everything. But then I actually just sat there for a minute and really thought about his question. And I actually came to the conclusion that Francia is actually the one that's driving this whole thing, you know, slightly more than I am. And I came home and we discussed it. So would you like to take it from there?
Yeah, okay, so as you know, in 2014 I was diagnosed with cancer, and as I was lying in my hospital bed, I had to wait for the CT scan the next day. And I only knew it was cancer, not how far it had spread it. So I thought I was on my deathbed, and you know, that whole thing about your life flashing in front of your eyes and all that. And my only regret in life was not having babies yet, because I wanted to have children before I die, and that is the only thing that I regretted and that I actually felt like upset about. Yeah, obviously I survived, and now I do want children, but I still want children before I die. But obviously, even if you survive cancer, there's like this mental side effect, like the rest of your life. You always feel like you're living on borrowed time, like how long do you really have left and stuff. So always had a bit of a rush trying to have children, just in case he comes back or whatever, you know. you don't know how long you have to live. Obviously, no one knows how long they'll live, but if you had cancer, then it's a bit more. It's a bit more a major issue.
In your face.
Yeah, it's more in your face. It's more of a major issue that you think about in times like that.
So when I came home, obviously we spoke about this, and nothing is new information. It's not like, oh, I actually really want children because I nearly died and that was my last regret.
It's a conscious decision. It's not a subconscious thing that was like revealed now or anything. I knew about it and I said so to people I met and everything in the hospital even. So it's no secret or surprise that I want to have children before I die. You know?
Okay, but then after we started to talk about it, it seemed like the last puzzle piece clicked into place, if that makes sense. Because we thought that we've really dealt with with coughing, I mean cancer. We thought we've really dealt with the cancer and that it's all behind us, and now we're moving on. Now it's behind us and we can start our fertility journey, and we started this YouTube channel, and now we can really go forward and live our life and, you know, do all the things that we want to do, because now Franch is healthy again. But I think in a weird way having children became kind of an abnormal obsession with us.
Yeah, the psychologist actually put it very well. He said, Jackie is trying to give me my dying wish, basically. And that's actually what it boils down to. That's also why it's so important to us. Because normal people just want children. They don't. It's not a wish they had on their deathbed that they a life regret that they had when they thought they were going to die or anything. You know? So I think for us it's a bit more serious than for normal couples who just want to have a baby. You know, for us it's literally a matter of life and death.
And so many things started to click into place. Like, we tried for children for about 8 months before Francia got ill or sick the first time. And I was just talking to Francia and we said, you know, do you still remember that time? Do you still remember those months? I mean, like, how it felt. The reason why you say no is because it didn't really stand out. It was normal. It was the way everyone else wants children at the beginning or at the start of their marriage. It was a normal feeling. It's something that you want, but if it doesn't happen, you have that sensation that you still have a lot of time. Like, you know, the world's your oyster and things will happen when it happens. So all of the advice that we receive at the moment is based on that feeling, but we don't have those feelings. Our situation is influenced by the fact that in the meantime Franch had cancer and almost died, and his last regret was not having children.
I think only someone who also had a near-death experience will know what we're going through, or at least someone who had a near-death experience while they were trying to have children and then they survive and they still want children. That's the only type of people who actually understand what we're about.
I agree, and I think our first discovery was that all of this, everything, all of these YouTube videos are fertility treatments, our extreme desire to have children actually had to do with the cancer. And
it's almost like the cancer is like the seed that was planted that made this whole baby thing grow and expand and everything.
And actually make it turn into something intense and urgent and kind of obsessed. It made us kind of obsessed with the idea. Do you maybe want to elaborate on the whole mortality, immortality thing?
The psychologist that Jackie's seeing actually made quite a valid point. He said that it's almost as if the cancer and the baby are like a quest for immortality, because having children and a new baby, there's new life. It represents almost life's life beating the cancer. It's like on the one hand you have death, on the other hand you have life and new life to replace the old life that gets left behind. So that's actually a very interesting point that he made, I think.
Yeah, it's like Francis said, I'm seeing the psychologist, so he didn't really want to, you know, elaborate too much on Francis' issues or whatever. I was the one sitting in front of him. But, you know, it's interesting if you think about it that way, that it's a way for you to to live forever if you have children, in a weird way, because a part of you keeps on living even though you're not there anymore. So it's that, yeah, mortality versus immortality thing. And that's a very, very stressful thing to pursue, because how do you really pursue immortality? And people who aren't in our situation and who won't necessarily understand why we feel the way we feel, you know, would easily say, well, all of us are going to die, none of us are going to live forever, but it's different if you've been...
It's not the same. If you've been in a situation where your life is threatened in that way, it's not the same as this. People always have this story like, oh, but anyone can die in a car crash or something. And yes, that's probably true, but the chances are a lot less still than what a cancer patient has of dying. I mean, it's not the same, really.
Yeah, and you think about it more. It influences your decisions. It influenced our decision to build a house. It influences our budgets. It influences all of the planning we do, things we don't do, because we are, you know, struggling to get to that point where having children will mean that you've survived and that we've moved on. So that was really the first major discovery on our fertility journey that we recently made, that we actually thought we were over and done with the cancer and that this was the new start, and actually all along we've been operating from that narrative.
So all this talk about children representing immortality and all that is actually like a mental side effect of surviving cancer, I think, because it's a thing that only happens when you survive a traumatic, life-threatening experience like that, and then it influences the rest of your life going forward, and it's something that doesn't happen to other people. And this week actually had some very good news. I went for a colonoscopy again, and I'm completely clean and free of cancer, so the doctor says I can consider myself cured now. That's actually very good news. So it also takes a bit of the pressure off us, the ultimate having to have children before we die, because now we have a bit more time. So it's actually very positive. So we've had a very, very good week recently.
Very grateful for those results, and we stressed. Hey?
Yeah, that's another side effect of if you had cancer. That's like a mental side effect, is you always stress before a checkup, and like I would get,
which is understandable.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you get like nauseous on your way to the doctor. On the way to the doctor, just because of the sheer stress of the moment and waiting to hear the results. It's much worse than other stressings you have in life, like a test or a presentation or public speaking or whatever. I mean, nothing beats waiting to hear that result. Are you going to live or die? You know, it's different.
And it was different this time around because your mother passed away like 3 months ago from cancer. So
yeah, it actually makes it even worse that someone in my family died just a couple of months ago. Because her mother actually had cancer after me, you know, and she died before me. So obviously then waiting to hear your cancer checkup results, that's a bit more stressful than normal. Okay, so that was just some of the mental side effects of cancer. It's more than just medication and the chemo side effects, also the impact that it has on even on your personality, the decisions that you make later in life. So it's quite a big mental impact as well. So in our next videos we'll talk a bit more about other things we've discovered, about the fertility journey and so on. So you can check back in a couple of days or weeks or whenever we post it, and we hope you'll find it interesting.
See you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.